Hey, Josh, got a little mic check. Let me know if it's working. SagePaw. Yeah, let me get you a wrench, SagePaw. Hey, King. Oh, we got music too. King, house. Yes, let's make it rain. Get in here. It's raining. Yes. Yes, house. Yes, house.
Dude, that's sweet. That is sweet.
Yes, house. Mackay. Catch. Yes, house. Yeah, big man. Great work.
Yeah.
Doo-doo. Doo-doo. House. Yes. All right. Come and see the show. We're doing it live. Cool.
That can, listen, that can be...
All right, are you ready? Let's go. Come on. Pup. Yes, good girl. Oh, we dropped it. We dropped it. Come on. Get back. Pop up. Pop up, pop up, pop up. Pop up. Pop up. Yes, good girl. Wow. That was great. Good work. Yeah. Let's go. Yes. Whoa. Look at her. She's so good. It's right here. It's right there. Yes. Good girl.
Woke up this
Ready?
morning, this afternoon again. It's 1:30 when I thought it was 10. So I gathered my wits.
Yes.
Wherever they
Good girl.
are,
Let's go.
stayed there
Come on,
and
pup.
I hear my
In and in.
locked them in my car. I
In
spent
and
my
in.
life just
Yes.
singing in
Good
this
girl. Oh, wow.
Night after night.
Look at her.
Be
She's
the
so
star
good.
that you
There we go. Look at that timing.
or that I think
Boom.
I
What's up, Epi? Huh? Are you ready?
Sometimes
Oh,
it seems like it's all just a blur.
Yes.
Every day is
Good
a
girl. Oh my So yeah, this was
Every day is a
super
cure.
fun, man.
Like wearing your shirt.
The puppy was
Inside out, you don't know where it
awesome.
lies at till you figure things out.
I walked out. I was gonna just go out with the leash on. She's a little crazy, and so I just grabbed the head cam. Hey, hey. Loaded up on cookies and took her outside. Yes. What we got. Good girl.
Well, some of you,
And this kind of sets the stage for
Good girl.
they think I'm lazy.
for some of the things we're going to talk about tonight. What's up, Cassie? How are you?
I got your permit right
Right here. It's so awesome. Oh, I ruined the Kung Fury thing. Oh, gosh.
Listen, babe. I'll call you Barbarian.
Barbarian. Yes. Anyone, Kung Fury on, yeah, she totally is a cupcake, right? Kung Fury on YouTube. Hi, Facebook user.
Yes.
Oh, that's interesting. I didn't think I was broadcasting to Facebook. Oh, I bet you it went live when I went back. Funny,
Yes.
super funny.
Whoa.
When I screwed up the
That is
the first one. But I got a few videos of the puppy here, and like my only goal here was to for her to have a nice experience on leash. It was the only goal that I had, and through this, I worked threshold. I placed value on me,
yes.
and I worked a little bit on a leave it, right? And it was pretty cool, man. It worked out super well. So, Tuesday tactics. That's what we're doing today, Tactics Tuesday. I'm going to talk a little bit about, I don't know, kind of how we angle our training to get things in particular. So tactics are like how we do things or why we do things towards like a discrete purpose. Strategies are more how is this thing being done in general? What am I trying to do here, right? Tactics is more moment by moment, right? And so tactics is a really important thing in dog training, right? We have a positive marker, we have reward placement, and I'm just going to use positive training terms, right? I'm not going to, anyway, you get the idea. We have a positive marker, we have reward placement, we have rate of reinforcement, we have reward history, we have cookies, we have toys, we have access to space, right? we don't have a lot of moving parts to accomplish all the skills that can be done between man and dog, right? Or between two critters, right? And so, like, how we do things kind of matters, and how we think about things kind of matters. It's nice to think about things in a slightly different manner. So we had, let me see. Today we were working on some stuff, right, in class. And so one of our patrons, a Disquando guy, his name's Ben. He's got an amazing, like a performance cocker. Dog's awesome, fly ball dog. And the dog is just blasting go. You know what I mean? And dog's awesome if he's not going anywhere. But as soon as he gets on a line and starts going, his catch percentage drops down, his bid ability drops down. He gets a head of steam, and just essentially that's where we're going. That's how it's going to work. And I've been giving Ben a lot of strategy and tactics, right? But the distinction between strategy and tactics isn't super clear, and the switching gears within your training session is often a tactical move, right? And those switching gears, perfect, okay. That switching of gears, that's kind of scary. Did you hear that, Epi? Right? That switching of gears within training is hard, right? I'm doing this thing. What do you mean I should switch to this? You know? Or, wow, I really want this whole thing. I'm going to go after the whole thing, right? Rather than this piece that's going to get me there, right? And so how we make decisions around tactics is kind of important. What's up?
Do you have the top for the canned food?
Hang on, let me check. I have one.
I only have some. Don't leave that later. Thank you.
All right. So yeah, like purposing our play, right? So here's a perfect, we'll get off the what the fuck are we talking about and why are we talking about it, right? So when playing throw and go, how do I get my dog to come back faster? He runs hard and fast to get it, and he takes a long time to come back, right? So the first thing that we have to do is we have to decide strategically, what are we doing? Am I scoring points for toss and fetch, or am I speeding my dog up? Number one, right? Not many people make that strategic assessment. They try to score points and make their dog come back faster, or they try to simply play the game the same way and try to make their dog come back faster. It doesn't work, right? In football, the team, and any team sport, the team that only scrimmages, that only plays toss and fetch for points, that only plays the game for points the way that it's played on game day, gets their ass kicked by teams that don't, they might not play live, real game situation, but once, 10 minutes a week, 10 plays a week maybe, right? And they will crush the team that just runs toss and fetch all the time while trying to make the dog come back faster, right? If you have a catching problem and your dog does not come back fast, right? You have to decide which one of these things you're working on if you're going to try and work something, right? You can't just have it all, right? That's not productive, proactive thinking. It's just not going to happen like that, right? So the strategy would be to select what it is we're doing, right? Some other like big things. We can stop there. The strategy would be, I'm not worried about the catch right now. All I'm worried about is coming back fast. Perfect. So what kind of tactics, what things can we do to make that happen, right? And the first thing I think that people tend to think is that, well, the answer to your question, Kimberly, is to use the flipping the field method, stand in the center of the field with multiple discs, probably 6, 8, 10, and send the dog around, throw 40 yards this way, cue the drop while the dog is 20 yards away, and throw 40 yards that way, making the dog sprint 60 yards, being late to the disc and likely missing it, right? And tactically and strategically, that's completely sound if we are trying to make the dog run back to us faster. That will make the dog run back to us faster, right? The concerns that people have, oh God, I'm not allowed multiple discs on the field, right? Well, we're not competing. You're allowed multiple discs on the training field. That's allowed. You have to have that, essentially, right? My dog should not drop it. Okay, then don't cue the drop. If you don't cue the drop, the dog won't drop it, right? That's the method that we're using. That's the tactic. The tactic is I cue drop, your teeth come off, I mark it, I whip it 40 yards this way. You're lucky to get there, buddy. You make the catch, you turn around, I cue the drop, you take your teeth off, I whip it 40 yards this way. You're lucky to get there, right? And so what happens is, all right, I'm on it. What happens is, people freak out because the disc is being dropped, or there's a throw going in the other direction, all right? So in your question, Kimberly, you laid out the problem, right? He runs hard and fast to get it. Why? Why does he run hard and fast to get it? Somebody throw that up in chat. Why does he run hard and fast to get it? Right? And then, why doesn't he come back as fast to you? Right? So 2 questions. Go ahead. You guys can answer that. And Josh, it is a super interesting concept. It leverages reward placement to make the dog, well, I'll ruin my question here. It leverages reward placement, and it allows us to drive for a moving object. Yeah, right. That's why the dog is going out there. We could buy that, right? So why would the dog run back to you? Fucking run back to you for what? Right? For what? Right? So any other answers on that question? Why is the dog hauling ass? He runs hard and fast to get it. Why is the dog running hard and fast to get it? And why is the dog coming back slower? Kind of an important question, right? It totally sets up, and hopefully, Kimberly, you can see this, that it totally sets up what tactic we're going to use to solve the problem, right? So, nobody? You guys are all going to just fucking punt on that? I should just leave it and make you guys do that. Somebody's got to have an answer for that. It's not a technical answer, by the way. To target, fast running. Yeah. I could go for that. And it's kind of similar to Josh's answer, right? But it includes the fast running, right? So, you know, the dog is chasing the target, right? The real short answer, right. And the flip of that, the reason that the dog is chasing it is because he wants to. I want that. I fucking want that. Right? That's why he's going out to get it. Quite literally. I want it. Why isn't the dog coming back? Because he doesn't want to give it up. So, and Kimberly, I buy that. I completely fucking buy that answer. I think that answer is exactly it, right? So, why make him give it up? Why make him bring it back? Right? What I'm suggesting is to cue the drop at a distance, setting up a situation where teeth off on my cue, ouse, yes, makes a disc happen way the fuck out there. And you need to be hauling ass. So after 4 or 5 of those, not even one stack of Frisbees, after one stack of Frisbees, you might be doing your long outruns still, but you're turning around and hauling ass back. And now I've got one problem solved. The dog is running fast. I've got 2 problems solved. The dog is running fast, and the dog, well, I got the main problem solved. He wants it. So he'll run fast, right? And he will hold in order to make it happen when I say. Does that make sense? Hopefully that makes sense. I got a little off message there. But once we identify that he doesn't want to give it up, right? Once we identify that he doesn't want to give it up, we can just as easily identify that either he doesn't have to or I don't have to wait to make him give it up, right? Very similar thing. We can cue the drop at a distance, mark it, yes, offer a bite on a disc in our hand. Out, yes, bite. So what I do is I set up out here, right? And I set up and I whip one out there, right? And I turn this way a little bit. By the way, this matters. If you go on your dog's strong flank, they'll run quickly. If you're standing against your dog's flank, like if he wants to go clockwise, he'll run slowly. A lot of times, right? Especially on that. But I'll turn this way, I'll wait. I'll cue the drop. Yes, and I'll whip it. The dog will be like, holy shit, what was that? Why'd you do that, Kim? The hell are you doing? What the hell are you doing? And the dog will run and get it, right? And they catch it out there. And I hang out here and I say, I can wait to 15 yards. Ouse. Yes. And I whip it. The dog's like, holy shit, that's awesome. Right? And I'll just load another disc. The dog's outrun will shorten. The dog will turn around and probably run right at me and drop that shit. And I'll stand here just like this. If the dog knows the cued drop makes it happen, they run back and get it. If they don't, I have to do some additional work. But let's say they know that the cued drop makes it, oh shit, my bad, Kim, or my bad, Ron, and the dog runs back and gets it. I cue out at the camera, I whip it 50 yards, right? Now the dog wants to come back. The dog is coming back. Out. Yes, bite. Oh, boom. Hit on the disc. Yeah, awesome. Nice tug here. Rah, rah, rah. Super amazing. Out. Yes, get around. Bang, whip one out there. Out. Yes, whip it out there. Out. Yes, whip it out there. Out. Yes, bite. Yes, good man. Go do dog stuff. And now all that dog did in toss and fetch, me standing like this, sending the dog around, whipping it out there straight away, right? All the dog did in that was ape shit running from point A to point B and slamming that target. Slamming that target at 40 yards. Slamming that target at 40 yards behind me. Holy shit, I didn't know it could go both ways. And then slamming that target on me. Now he wants to come in because he's not going to give it up in here. If he's coming in and he knows the bite, if the bite has happened a bunch of times in here and it's pretty kick-ass, super easy to make that. It's pretty kick-ass. If I'm standing here empty-handed, the dog wants to give it to you. The dog wants to give it up, right? So, the tactics we used, flipping the field, right? The problem that, or the solution that we did, I want him to want to come by me, to run towards me, to run at me. I want him to realize that there's shit going on behind me. You probably shouldn't fuck around out there, right? That's the reason the strategy is, or the tactics is flipping the field. The strategy is, let's do something that makes the retrieve faster, right? That would be the strategy that we are going after. And that is not really a good term of strategy. If you're going to hold me up on a philosophical thing, I'm going to fail on that. I didn't really want to talk about strategy, but I started talking about tactics in too open-ended of a sense. And strategy and tactics are different. It's a great game, SagePaw. It's a terrific game. How this applies to Tactics Tuesday, right? Reward placement, leveraging reward placement is a tactic. If I want Epi on the pedestal, right? If I want to shape Epi onto the pedestal, I can use the tactic, eye contact, shape and the strategy would be shape and capture. The tactic would be, yes, reward placement. And now he's on the pedestal, right? I could yes. I could take eye contact and I could cue him to the pedestal. Stall. Go, go, go. Stall. Yes. Good man, right? I can cue him to the pedestal. Off. I could like free shape to the pedestal. If I wanted, you'll have to hear this. If I wanted to, Epi here, good man. Ep, right here. King, go, go. So if I wanted to pair stall, yes. The door knock with stall, so my dumbass dog didn't jump the door and jump my guess, off, I can use spot as a tactic, right? Epi. Good. Stall. Off. Yes. And now, right? Okay, off. Go do dog stuff. So the reason that I want to talk about this, right, is because people seem to think that, like, they got to fucking work. Like, I got to make this happen over and over, right? You don't really have to. You just have to have, like, your foundational skills, right? And then you apply your foundational skills in creative ways and thoughtful ways to get what you want, right? And the thing, there isn't an answer for you and your dog. Like, there isn't an answer. If you, I wish I could rekindle what we were talking about this afternoon, man, because I really want to talk about that, and I just can't seem to dredge it back up. The situation changes so fast, right? The situation changes so fast, and our pieces of training, like using that pedestal, right, to get that. And of course, it's a fucking gimme. Don't go and think I'm like super cool, because my dog will run to a pedestal on the drop of a hat. He'd run to the pedestal if I said fucking potato at this point in time, right? I'm not pretending to be some kind of awesome trainer. What I'm getting at is that I want to use that, right? I want to use those things. Rather than work the skill directly, I want to leverage things that I know how they work. Yeah, that's it. I know how that works. He'll run to the spot. Well, if he runs to the spot, I can use that tactically to make him leave somewhere, right? And I can just make him leave somewhere with a spot. That's fucking easy, right? We should do that. We don't always make that decision, right? We try and make it happen, or we act like it can't happen, or who fuck knows what we do, right? But we don't often make the decision to do that. And hopefully that makes sense. Funny. Yeah, be careful with that. I used place the other day when the puppy wanted to play keep away. So my puppy today, I filmed some threshold work. I did some threshold work with her. She does beautiful eye contact indoors, but eye contact is not allowed outdoors, apparently. Outdoors is no eye contact, no more eye contact. But while we were working the gate, she would like work me, and she would work my hands, because outside we don't give eye contact. So she'd work my hands in the treat bag. Treat bag, my hand, treat bag, my hand in the leash, treat bag, my hand in the leash. And then she'd go, okay, I'm gonna make threshold happen. And she'd dive over the threshold, right? And so she was like using that. And she knew how it worked. And it was super cool, right? Oh shit. I don't remember where I was going with that connection. Using place the other day, the thing that I was getting at for keep away, Super awesome. I used place the other day when the puppy wanted to play keep away, right? Puppy wants to play keep away. Okay, spot. Dog runs to the spot, stands there. Oh my gosh, you're amazing. You give him a cookie, you take the thing, keep away solved. You have your resolution, right? Now the trick is, Cassie, is to take that, that good momentary in-flow decision and perhaps turn it into a tactic that you use. Now here's the trick, and this is where I was going to go initially. Be careful with that, because you can make it a tactic. Oh, what I was getting at, be careful with it, because your puppy will then run over and back across the threshold trying to make you do something. So she'll take the toy, and if you don't get your attention, she'll go and jump on the pedestal and jump off the pedestal, because, you know, that's what works, right? That's what I was getting at. It was super funny. One little session, one session, and the exit out the first door, and my puppy wanted to use the threshold to make things happen. It was super awesome, right? A lot of times people do a hand target on or for a retrieve, right? With their puppy. Oh, yes, touch. Oh, look at you. And they scoop up the puppy, right? And that works until the puppy's about 4 months old, and then the puppy's averse to hand targeting. It's not like they don't like it, but they just are like, yeah, I know you're going to pick me up. It always winds up, anybody who's using a hand target as like a parachute for a bad recall or to add value on the recall. What you do and see is going to experience that. Oh, whoa, look at her. She's fast. She is fast. She's going to fall down, though. So, yeah, dogs totally do what works. And, you know, you can bank on that. And that's, if we know what works, we should use it, right? So, let me see. Gosh darn it. So, leaping. All right. Who was it? Anne. Are you here, Anne? Anne was talking about, I think it was Anne, a patron of ours, was talking about leaping. And she's been working the get out with the tomahawk, if I recall correctly. And she's been making the play, right? And I can show you this, I think. I don't think King will interfere or Epi will beat him up. Oh, Mackay, get out, ouse, and hitting him across the center, right? King, go to dog stuff, right? You can look it up if you don't know what I'm talking about, but it's mine. King, go to dog stuff. Epi, stall, chill. King, Mackay, dude. King, Mackay, get out. Dude, Mackay, get out. Yes, ouse. Yes, right? So she's throwing the upside down one. Ouse. Yes. Whoa, dude. Ouse. Good. Chill. So this one out here isolates the dog's collection, right? It has the dog comes around and gets out here and gets about right here, and the disc is falling back on them to some degree. It's falling back, so the dog's got to rock back and sit back and wait for the disc, right? And then make the leap. And the dog will learn to take 2 or 3 strides, put their feet under them, and make the leap, right? There's a couple of videos I've shown on it. I'm super excited about it. I think it's a really promising technique, right? So Anne is doing that, and then she's also bringing the dog across for the leaping catch, right? And that's like all she's doing. Yeah, yeah, totally, SagePaw, right? You're getting out, right? That turning it upside down will make the dog sit back. It will make collection more pronounced. And this throw here, like around and get out right over there to your maybe 10 o'clock. If I start here, send the dog around 9:30, 10 o'clock. You can make it, I mean, I can hit, right? I threw both of them at the one. I could hit the one like money. It's so reliable. Ouse. Dude. Thank you. Go do dog stuff. Chill. Right? It's very, very reliable. And that'll set the dog back. And it'll get the dog rocked back. And I usually throw that 1 or 2 times in my warm-up. Or if I notice my dog is getting crazy, like, let me run, I'm a fucking animal, right? I'll send them around and bust that on them a couple times. Kind of keeps them in check. But it's a great skill. She's working that. And then excuse me. And then she's also dragging the dog across. So from like right where Epi is right now, right? Oh, you can't see Epi? Is that possible? Yes, it is. Oh, what a bummer. Well, that sucks. Hang on. Epi, off. Off. Good. Wait. Off. Is he on now? No. Let me try here. All right. So, right from where Epi is, she's hitting the dog out there at the stool, right? Dude. So she's hitting the dog at the stool. King. Dude. Ouse. Go do dog stuff. I don't need any help. Right? So that's making the play. It's an interception coming across. And so she's doing that as work, right? And you want to do the work initially, right? You want to do the work initially to make it happen, right? So, dude, I do around, get out. I throw the floater. It's caught right over top of the red stool out there. Over and over again. I can bring it in 1.5 yards and make the dog leap there over and over, right? You know, I want to do it as a drill until I'm pretty good at it, right? And then once I'm pretty good at it, or while I'm doing other things, I can slip this in places, right? If I'm doing a jam and a flash sequence, right? And I don't have an out throw. I finish off through and flip, fakie twist, back fault, hoop, flip. I got to make an out throw, right? Maybe I turn sideways to the dog's landing and throw that toss, that upside down thing from the drill as the exit from my jam and a flash. And I wind up throwing 4 or 5 of them in the course of a jam session. That's not part of the drill, right? We want to slip these things that are in our drills into our games, right? And we want to do that to get something, right? Like we don't have to around, get out, catch, out, yes, catch, around, get out, catch, out, yes, catch, right? King would really like to do that. I'm going to get pretty bored with that, right? The team might get pretty bored with that. King might physically not be able, physically and mentally, might not be able to solve the problems of the skill by simply doing that, right? And, you know, that's where someone like me comes in, or somebody else who's teaching, and they go, okay, don't do that, do this. And do this every once in a while, and that'll work, right? And it often works. But I think if you're observant or honest with yourself, it's something you're doing somewhere else already, almost always. And so, like, doing things for a reason is kind of important. And the things we do, like offering a bite, Kimberly, or like pivoting and throwing a big long pass, right? The things that we do can dramatically change the lesson. And we don't have to do a shit ton of work. Hopefully that's making sense. And I know it's fucking all weird and whatnot. Probably not a very good conversation. I'm gonna have to do something else. Any questions or comments or anything in this kind of angle or on this topic, like purposing your play, trying to figure out how to slide the powerful elements, the useful elements of your drills into your general play, right? Any questions or comments about that? Epi, off. Yes, good man. Great work. Go do dog stuff. All right, so I got part 2 of puppy thingamajig. So let me run a puppy thing. Ready? Let's go. I'll run this other puppy thing, and it's just this one is there are a couple leave-its in there, and our foundation for "Oops, I Can't Reach It." So yeah, give that a look. I'm gonna let the puppy out. Come on, puppy. Ooh. Hey, right there. Yes. Whoa. So smart. So smart. Hey. Yes. That little toe tap, I think that's what that was. That little toe tap is our "Oops, I Can't Reach It" cue. And it's super funny. Hey, don't eat that. Ow, ouch, yes, good. So you can actually see her hit on things to drop them, and also you'll get to see her leave them alone. Wow. Right? And I'm not out here working leave it. I'm not working anything. I'm out here just to introduce the dog to the leash, right? Yes. I'm using attention and orientation. Yes. And those are the things that I'm using. What I'm doing is breaking the dog on the leash and also adding value on me. And that's all I got going on here. I don't really care. I identified her hitting the toys or hitting the leaves, and I kind of either worked the drop or just waited for her to release. Right? I took advantage of that. Oh my gosh, that's so awesome. Potty from a puppy will always get back from oops or from go do dog stuff. In and in. Go, go, go. Ep. Pan. See, you're up if you want it. You are welcome to go. Yes. Yeah, it's a Purina leash. It's a nice leash. The collar's awesome. King, go, 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 go. Epi, get off. Go. God, it's so annoying. Epi won't leave the pedestal. But I don't really care that he won't leave the pedestal because it saves me from
Good work.
him being angry and whatnot.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
So yeah, I just had some opportunistic releases of the toy, right? Or of the leaf.
Wow.
And you can see her kind of exploring that, right?
Yes, good work.
Took the opportunity to give her a very overt off cue. She doesn't know what the fuck it means, but you know. Had nice heel position for some time. I marked it and asked her off.
Very, very good.
She is. She's a good little cupcake. A little bit of left, walking left. Now I'm kind of adding this heel work criteria. Don't ever add more criteria. I don't care. Just paying her on my left footfall. I don't give a shit. All I care about is that she likes the leash. You know, that was pretty fun. That was all right, man, you know. And that was probably minutes, I don't know, 4 to 8 of our 10, 11 minute session that we had on the leash. But I wanted to draw attention to the idea of that, of having some tactics, right? Oh, Josh, you just, yeah, so, you know, you can try and hide the truth. You can try and hide the truth all you want, but it will come out. So the other day I threw an air bounce to Huck and it totally rocked him as an off-speed throw. Second throw, he sort of understood. Could you go in depth, into depth of training slow throws versus faster throws? Yeah, the upside down throw is the speed drops off markedly. It's a retarded throw. The throw is at this speed and it artificially slows down and it freaks a dog out, right? And it is that speed change that is effective in pushing the dog into backing off, staying behind the target, and collecting, right? That's a terrific, I mean that like the speed is retarded to slow down the speed, right? And it's I think it's the best term for it. There's not really a reason for the speed to change, right? With the slower throws like the air bounce, you have the similar thing. The disc is going quickly away and then it stalls out, right? And that would be retarded, right? It would be that that slowing motion, but it doesn't reverse on the dog, right? It just slows down and stables up a little bit. It's still going in the same direction and it's still relatively the same speed. The upside down throw comes back. It's like a massive change up, right? It is a massive change up. So that's a really great skill to use. But as soon as we throw them upright, what happens is we don't have that dramatic slowdown, right? We don't have that dramatic slowdown even to where it comes back on you, right? Instead, hey, dude, puppy, you have to leave the old lady alone. Puppy. Yeah, I know, see, I'm sorry. Ooh, guess what? let's see what happens with puppy on, ooh, this will be, ooh. I get in trouble for this one. I could really get in trouble for this one. I could. This is probably going to go poorly. Epi, a pup. So oh wow, that's wild. So she's actually small enough. Funny, she's small enough to be able to pull. Yeah. She's small enough to be able to pull the tetherboard. So that is a terrific tool, but as soon as they fly right up, the same action doesn't happen. It doesn't have the same degree of jarring stall, right? And without that strong jarring stall, right? Without that jarring stall and the obvious upside down nature of the disc versus right side up, your dog Huck, he sees the right side up disc and goes, yeah, that shit's not coming back on me. Wham! But the throw is just enough to throw him off, right? If you throw a super duper slow disc, like an upside down throw, something that has this artificial slow, right? That thing stops out there. It goes out there, it's tearing out down there, and then it just stops. That's the weirdest shit ever, right? You want to make a great distinction, Josh. It's black versus white. So the puppers alert, how? Did you get it? It's right here. That's right. King, go. King, go. Pan, go. All right, I'm going to go tear her off that. I'll be able to watch the live stream and see how she responded on it. Hi. Whoa. Yeah, it doesn't look like it worked very well, does it? No. No. No, but you know what? I do not care. I do not care. You can't do that to you can't. Yes, good girl. You can't do that to C. I'm sorry. She was over there just beating the shit out of C. So, okay, Josh, the upside down throw. Awesome. It works. It slows the dog down. It doesn't translate to the right side up throw, right? What we talked about today, Ben has been doing a round get out with the upside down throw, like as a warm up, as a drill with Birch, and it's worked really well. And his catch percentage has gotten markedly better. But on many of the throws where he just lets it go, a regular throw, Birch still misses because of over pursuit and, 100% taken off to go get there, right? Ben has also done a round get out, made a throw, and drug the dog across the middle for the leaping catch. He's also done that, right? And he's done that as a drill. Yeah? But then he goes out and plays Frisbee and doesn't do that, ever. Or within his routine, he never does that. You see what I'm saying? The closest he gets is a zigzag, right? And he's doing the zigzag. On a zigzag, the dog turns from here and goes. So we can control where the dog starts, right? But there are a bunch of times the dog starts running and the dog is going and we want to hit the dog on the line. Or I'm going to make the throw so the dog can chase and get on the line, right? The dog needs to know that that line is, it has to be throttled. Once we get on a line, you can't just go. Here's the thing. Here's what I'm getting at. The Gray area is the problem. The upside down disc is so different from just the regular floater that it's black and white. They're clearly not the same planet, right? And so the dog, you throw it upside down, you throw a 20-yarder upside down out there, and you don't try to throw it so the dog can catch it. You throw it like, so it's 8 feet in the air when the dog gets there, right? What happens is the dog runs this way and the disc lands 5 yards over here, right? And the dog that ran this way turns around and looks around and is like, what the fuck was that, right? And we do it again and the dog is chasing it. It's turned over. It's going to the right. And so the dog runs over there and it falls over to the left. He's like, what the fuck, right? And it's up there and he follows it this time. I got to see what's happening here. And he sees it do this and switch. And he goes, oh my God. Oh my God, right? And he learns that there's black and white to this, right? This is not at all like my normal throw, right? So this swinging back and forth, that's black and white. We flip it over and we throw like an air bounce and it's right side up, right? And we throw it at what? Maximum leaping height, right? So that means maximum leaping height, 48 inches, 50 inches, right? It's pretty good maximum leaping height. It's a good leap, right? But we're often 2 feet high and 2 feet low. 2 feet or 3 feet low, let's say, because we don't want to throw it too high because he'll fucking be an idiot, right? So we err to the low side. So 2 feet low, 3 feet high, right? When that is, dude, Huck is going for this disc. Is he going to catch it? Is he going to catch that? Right? He probably won't. He'll catch it here. That's money. But here he's just going to miss. And it's going to be a Herculean effort. Oh, man, I almost got it, Josh. Throw it there again. I'll get it this time, I promise. And he'll miss it every fucking time. Right? He'll miss it every time because he can't get it. Right? So what you do instead, Josh, is you throw it up there. Right? That high when he's under it and chasing it. That'll do. Chill. Right? Not 5 feet high. Nope, nope, nope. King, dude, go do dog stuff. Not 5 feet high or 6 feet high, 12 feet high, right? And when it's 12 feet high on the dog's line and he's chasing it, now he's got to stop. If it's only 6 feet high, he's going to go for it and think he can get it because it's a gray area, right? Epi, in and in. Good work. Good work. Just because it's a gray area. Does that make sense, Josh? Do you follow that? So within the fast throw and the slow throw, you want to make them not fast and slow, but fast and slow, right? We want to have super slow, we want to have normal, and we want to have ape shit fast. Hey, Epi, that'll do. Let me take the puppy out real quick. Come on, pup, 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 pup. Cupcake, go suck, sack. Go suck, sack. You gotta go. Let's go suck, sack. All right, come on, guys. King, cupcake. Yay. Oh my gosh, look at her. Whoa, whoa, We'll bring you out at the end of the show. Bring you out at the end of the show. So here's what we came up with, right? So Ben is going to try to send the dog around, send Birch around, and deliver the upside down throw, that tomahawk throw at 3 to 5 strides. You've seen it a couple times here, in order to make him leap within his general gameplay, not just as his warm-up drill. And he's going to do that organically, like, hey, let me do this thing, woohoo, right? Because it's cool and fun. He's also going to do it strategically or tactically. Hey, I could use Birch to slow down a little bit. Let me pop one of these throws off. And what he's going to learn is he's going to learn not just how to send the dog around, turn this way, and make the throw right over there. He's going to learn to pick the dog up here and make the throw right over there at the red stool. Right? At the red stool. And he'll just turn and make the throw over at the red stool, and it'll be exactly the same. And now the dog is going to have this black and white situation while the dog is streaking by. You follow? But that can only start to happen once Ben starts to use the skill or use the drill, right? And that's where like tactics and thinking about like what I'm trying to do and what the problem is and what actually is the problem. Do I have anything that kind of solves that problem? That's where that stuff comes into play. And now here's the big money one, Josh. So send the dog around, you hit the dog out at the camera. The dog catches, you cue the drop, you hit the dog at this camera over here, right, as he's coming across for the leaping catch. You do 3 of them at normal height, at like leaping height, and then send the dog around, throw out to the camera, drag the dog across, and throw one 12 feet high that hovers 12 feet high. That's way too high for the line. And the dog comes sprinting across as if it's normal, but it's way not normal. And Birch is going to jump at it 10 feet in the air. And he's going to miss completely foolishly. And then Ben will send him around and we'll throw out there and we'll hit him at leaping height, send him around, hit him at leaping height, send him around, hit him at leaping height, right? Then we'll send him around out there, hit him at 12 feet. And he might miss it again, but he'll definitely pay attention. And in 3-4 reps, because of the dramatic black and white nature, Birch is going to come off of that catch over there and slow his shit down coming across. At which point in time we mark and say, wow, that's amazing. And we tie that into a round get out, tomahawk throw, upside down throw, right? We mark that collection. Yes, that's awesome. But that's black. Right side up is white. I throw right side up, fast, slow, doesn't matter. I'm too aggressive. Now I throw right side up, but I throw 20 feet in the air, and I throw right side up where you're supposed to catch it, right? You're going to get the picture real quick. Yeah. So butt heavy is over pursuit. And now here is the secret sauce, and this is the thing. I'm going to have to delete this after we do it, and I'm not just joking, but I literally just came up with this today, and I think it's going to work really well. So right now we were talking about black and white, right? The black of way the hell up there, 20 feet high, and the white, the one that we want at the leaping height, right? The one that we want at the leaping height is not white, some shade of gray, right? If 20 feet in the air is black, a roller is white, right? So I send the dog around, I throw the dog out there, I get the catch, I cue the drop, I hit him at regular leaping height. I send him around, I throw out to the thing, I cue the drop, I mark it, I throw a roller to show them what fast is and to give them a reason to go fast, right? And then I send the dog around, I throw out here, I cue the drop, and I throw one at maximum leaping height, or I'm sorry, 20 feet in the air. And now he knows what slow is. And I can play games within that in order to teach the dog that you'll know when you should sprint, Huck. You'll know when you should track and watch, Huck. And of course, you know, anything right there in that sweet spot, you're going to crush that thing. And he will do those skills and learn how to do those skills. Does that make sense? Hopefully it does, because that's what I got for it. I think it's super fucking clever. I think it's going to work for a bunch of dogs. I think it's going to work for a bunch of dogs. And it's drop dead simple, right? It's completely drop dead simple. So I'm kind of excited about that, actually. So you want black and white, not what I want and what I don't want. That might not be black and white, right? That might be black and some shade of gray. You want to identify the black and then go all the way to the white. See how close you can get to that, right? And if you're experiencing problems, evaluate the black versus white and make sure you're not in some kind of situation like this where it's a shade of gray on both sides. Try and get as much clarity between the two as you can. We could call that a contrast tactic, right? I actually have a bunch of these tactics listed. I can get fucking super nerdy on this. Hang on. I'll get a little nerdy on it. And we have a whatchamacallit, video to look at. Yeah, right here, right? Yeah. So here, check this out. This is great. Let me see. I got your permit right here. Gosh, you guys, anybody seen Kung Fury? It's amazing. I can make that bigger, right? Yeah. So this, oh, can I? Come on. Hang on, I might need to do this. Hang on, I'll, turn that off. Let me do this. Where'd it go? There it is. And now I will share my screen. Where are we at? We're on Puppy Bite Work. So this is some mind map that I have from a sense-making framework. So we have strategies and tactics. And hopefully you can see that. I might be able to make it bigger. Can't. Oh yeah. Right? So we have strategies and tactics. So this is how we would, I'll go through the whole thing real quick. Creating safe to fail experiments in DiscDog, complex domain. This is where we learn things, emergent practices, creativity, things that we don't already do, and things that we don't completely understand live here. Complicated domain, these are the things that we completely know how to do that have a bunch of moving parts. These things, the clear things, are like best practices. These are the things that we should know by heart. And they should be just standard dog training things, like 100%. And we don't have them like that, by the way. We think we do, but we don't. Anyway, so the complex domain is where, when April and I, a bunch of you guys have been to camps, or you've seen us work with people, or you've seen people work with other people's dogs. When we grab your dog, Cassie, at camp, it looks like April and I knew what we were going to do right from the very beginning, correct? Just answer, it'll come across later, right? The reality is that April and I don't know anything we're going to do with the fucking dog until we wind up out on the field or maybe 4 or 5 throws into the session, right? We have just, you give me the dog, right? I've watched the dog play. I have an opinion on this dog. This dog is like this. You give me the discs. I switch them to my left hand. The dog now leaves me alone. Oh, I now know that the dog is going to leave me alone with the left hand. Or I know that I can't offer a bite in the left hand. Changing the disc from hand to hand is a safe to fail experiment. Both April and I will do that, right? Both April and I will do that, right? To see what the dog is going to do. And we do that while you're talking to us, right? And now I know that the dog won't touch this in my left hand. So now when I put my right hand out here and I block, right? I know the dog isn't going to hit it. And so what it looks like to you is that, wow, he just grabbed those discs and he put his fucking right hand out there and that shit was over, right? And it wasn't. It wasn't at all. What happened is I got this dog. I was like, hey, I wonder how this dog is going to respond. Let me try something that's safe to fail. And I moved my discs and I watched what the dog did. I probed with a safe to fail experiment, right? I probed with a behavior that I already knew. Sorry. I probed with with any good practice, right? I loaded the discs, I switched the discs. I watched what the dog did. I sensed what the dog did, right? And then I responded. I will continue to put my discs in my left hand and block, and the dog will leave me alone. I didn't know that when I started, right? I had my hunches, but I didn't know, and there was no way to know until I tried something, right? That's the difference. I can know here in the complicated domain. This is just hard shit that's super cut and dry. But I don't know what's going to happen over here. And when you don't know what's going to happen, when you have not done something before, or you are trying to figure out how things work, you can't know how to do it. You have to probe, then sense what happens, then respond, right? So I probe, what's happening? I sense what happened. I probe, what's happening? Okay, let me try this. Safe to fail, I switch this. I block. Awesome, that worked. Let me take the field, right? And so I start taking the field with your dog, Cassie. I've made 4 or 5 evaluations. I've made 4 or 5 safe to fail probes that have given me the intelligence I need to take the field without getting mauled by that asshole, right? And the only reason I was able to do that is because I didn't know what I was doing, and I acknowledged that I didn't know what I was doing. Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing or what I'm going to do most of the time, right? In which case, you do a safe to fail experiment with dismissal, attention, some criteria that we do, right? I could use reward placement. I could move the discs to one side, try something, see what the dog does. As you start to do this, like, is this working? Is that working? Is this how it works? You'll get more confident doing things, right? Without worrying about, oh gosh, is it going to break it? Oh, all that shit. Or without expecting what you do to make it fixed right now, right? And you'll just get better at that decision-making process. Right? Yeah, it completely does. I don't know what I'm going to train. I don't know how I'm going to respond. So Cassie, this whatever the fuck this mind map here is, this mind map, this shit that I've put together over the last few months, we've talked about it a bunch in Patron's cookie class. really firm things up. I can teach you my Border Collie flowchart. I can teach you that, right? Like, it's not quite a flowchart. All of these things, this whole Cynefin framework, right? It moves around. All of what we do moves around. And things like drop that are supposed to be over here in clear, right? Of course my dog knows drop. Zip, well, ask Anne's dog. Oh, and no, Anne has the drop problem. Dude, you can't do that. You can't do that. Anne has the drop problem, right? And the drop is supposed to be a done deal. She had it. But he's dropping when she does this. And then when I watched it, the dog is dropping when she does this, when she does that, when she does the other thing, and this and that, right? And so this clear practice of drop, teeth off, when that doesn't work, you move directly into chaos. You are right there. It's called the simplicity cliff, right there. And you fall right into chaos. When something that we expect to work doesn't work, we're fucked, right? That's why I don't tell my dog to sit, like, ever, right? Unless I need them to sit and just do the sit thing, right? If I'm setting up for something, I don't tell them to sit unless they must sit for it. Because as soon as I tell them to sit, if something happens, we're no longer doing the thing that I want to work on, because we're going to fall into chaos and it's going to be fucked up, right? Anyway, it's my whole Border Collie thing. It moves around. It's amazing. Strategies and tactics, compare and contrast. That's black and white, Josh, right? So what are we doing here, right? The strategies that we have. So Josh, with Huck, what are we going to do to solve this problem? Are we going to avoid the problem? We can employ the strategy of avoidance and never throw a disc that he could fuck up. Never alter speeds. Or only throw the one that we want, right? Or we can interrupt the behavior. That upside down throw is something of an interruptor, right? It interrupts the behavior, makes it's incompatible. Differential reinforcement of an incompatible behavior would be an interruption strategy. We can stroke success and ensure that we only have habitual success. The only thing that we're doing is success, errorless learning, for instance. We can use that as a strategy. We can decide that in this session, what I was doing with the puppy, all I'm going to do is reinforce her coming in and looking at me. That's it. That was my strategy. Everything fell from that strategy. I noticed a few things. I dropped a couple tactics on it. I got a faster leave it. I introduced her to the toe tapping thing of, oops, I can't reach it. Proofing, right? My strategy is to proof this fucking behavior. That means we're going to do it and it's going to happen, and that's that. Unfortunately, most people address all of their behaviors as if they're proofing, even when they're learning something that they don't know how to do, something that is emergent, an emergent practice, something we don't know how to do. I'm going to proof it. We don't know how to do it. We can't proof it, right? But proofing is a valid strategy as far as a training session. You know, right now I'm just going to play, right? Completely valid strategy. Loosen up. You know, let's play around the pedestal. No goal, no. I'm not going to do anything. I'm not going to make it happen. I'm not going to be tactical. I'm just going to play, right? You'll start playing. You'll see something. You'll make that happen, and bang, dog will be on the pedestal. We can prime the pump. I can eye contact. Yes, pay. Eye contact. Yes, pay. Wait, and he gives eye contact. And that's a terrible priming of the pump, but I think you might have been able to see it from there. Could you see him? No. Anyway. Priming the pump would be making it happen over and over again, or essentially setting up a vicious back chain. We have compare and contrast as a strategy, kind of a funky thing, and then freight training, which is, trying to turn every behavior into a secondary reinforcer. Super cool strategy. So, once we select a strategy, right? And by the way, these aren't fucking turnkey strategies or anything like that. These are just things that I broke down my basic training things into, and I kind of like, I'm going to avoid this situation. That's a really nice thing to know. Strategy is what are we doing here? Tactics are how we are doing it. So if I'm going to interrupt the behavior, right? How am I going to interrupt that behavior? What is my tactic going to be to use that? Reinforce with action, I could use reward placement. I'm going to use a tactic. I'm going to use tactical reward placement to interrupt this behavior. I'm going to use tactical reward placement to avoid this behavior. I'm going to use rate of reinforcement tactically to avoid the behavior. You follow me? So we have strategies, we have tactics. What are we doing? How are we doing it? And yeah, it is a really good chart. I don't know if I can sell it because I think the Kneffin guy will I think he'll sue me. I think he'll sue me. He might not. It's a really good chart and it's a really neat concept, man. Like, we live over here. We never know exactly what's going to happen. Anything can happen at any time. And we always treat it like we're over here, where that I say it and the dog does it. Of course my dog knows drop. My dog knows all of the behaviors of a vault, right? And your dog can't wait. Or yes, my dog knows a wait. It's down here in clear in best practices. We wait at the door, right? But it isn't good enough to put into the vault. And we think that it's good enough, that it's solid, it's fucking money. Chunk it away, leave it alone. But in reality, our vaulting situation has 3 or 4 big mistakes in there that we're juggling and we can't really predict, right? So you guys ask me, how do I solve this problem? And I say, well, I don't know. How's it happening? How about this? How about that? How about this? How about that? You report back, we nail it down, we wind up getting there. All right. Yeah, he knows that. He knows that. Anyway, tactics, how we're doing it. Black and white, compare and contrast as a tactic. Josh, really, really critical. And you want to make that as black and white as you can, right? And you can go out there strategically. You can avoid the speed problem using black and white compare and contrast tactic. You follow? You can interrupt the behavior. He's really running out of control right now. I'm going to send him around and fucking make the play and drive one real high. Or I'm going to throw the upside down throw that swoops on him, so he freaks out because it's coming back on him, I'm going to interrupt using the compare and contrast tactic. I'm going to employ habitual success today because I don't want to deal with any of that bullshit. A really important one, guys. Really, really important. All we're going to do is be successful, right? Let me pick only the good things, right? And of course you can't do that all the time, but if you need a good session, it's a great strategy. Today, I'm just going to reinforce the proper skill. So I'm going to try and make it happen. That's my strategy, is to employ tactics that make it happen more. Crude, that's it. That might, Josh, mean trying something new, right? That might mean, I don't know, might mean a bunch of things. But it doesn't necessarily mean that you are going to like go out and go to work, right? I'm going to go out and go to work. Here I go. I'm going to work. You know, you should be able to slip that in. And kind of build your proofing. Don't try and make something perfect that can't be perfect now. Don't test it if you can't pass the test. It won't help, right? Employ avoidance. Employ habitual success. Employ reinforcement. Play. Prime the pump. Get it hot. Then proof, right? If it's able to pass the test. That's a big one. People are always out. Solving the problem would be another, I have the answer. Da, 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 I have the answer. I watched YouTube, I have the answer. And you go out, if you apply it like you have the answer, like that's the strategy, I have the secret recipe for this, dude, you are going to get your ass handed to you. Anybody who's had their ass handed to them because they fucking took the recipe to the field can type easy cheetah in the chat. And there should be, I don't know, I think we only got 8 or 10 people here. There should be like a bunch of easy cheetahs in there, right? 'Cause that happens all the time. All right, so. All right, we'll see you, Josh. Sorry I missed you taking off. Yeah, right? There's an easy cheetah. SagePaw, she's honest. So this is stuff that we cover in our patrons only cookie class. You know, I'm gonna probably kick out some videos from class. We got 3 or 4 people that are in there pretty reliably, week in, week out. It's Wednesday afternoon, and it totally kicks ass, man. They're fucking rocking. And I really dig it. They've all learned to make really good dog training decisions, which is really helping them solve their own problems, right? I want people that I work with to be able to solve their own problems. This Cynefin framework here, this thing, this is what I do for you guys. This is what a coach does. The coach decides what are the clear best practices, right? And then the coach makes you learn all of those clear best. And if you don't know one of them, you're fucked. You got to go back and learn that. The coach makes that happen. And then the coach monitors that and ensures that these clear and best practices are still in your wheelhouse. They're still accessible to you, right? We get really good and we throw those dumb things away because we're doing all this sexy shit up here, all this sequencing shit, right? And we don't notice that our drop is fucking failing. You know, coach, what I would do is be like, hey, Cassie, that drop is weak. You need to insert, you know, do some work on that drop, right? And then we, the coaches, decide what the probes are going to be based upon our experience, right? And here's the kicker, man. Until you probe, sense, and respond with a shit ton of dogs, you say, hey, what happens when I do this? Ooh, look, whoa, I sense the response. I get it. The dog fucking bites me. That's not okay. Right? How about I not do that anymore as my response, right? My respond is don't do that, right? You can't have a bunch of strategies and tactics until you've probed, sensed, and responded, right? Like that's how you build your experience. You can't build experience without probing, sensing, and responding. If you did the recipe, right, and got the right answer, it tasted good, right? You don't really have the experience of learning that. You just have that experience with that dog at that stage of development potentially. Hopefully that makes sense. Yes, I am going to play your video. I mentioned that. I can really, really nerd out on that stuff though, man. Like, it's, like I said, it's what we do for you guys. It's what a coach does for you, right? We do the safe to fail experiments in our time, or we do some safe to fail experiments on your time, right? To figure out what's happening. But we don't have the answer until we start playing with it. And that's why anybody who gives you an answer online, like it's the law, like it's a recipe, you know, if it works, that's awesome. Super happy for you, but that's not, getting the answer is not helpful a lot of times. All right, so we have making the play here. SagePaw is setting the flank, sending the dog around, throwing out to 10 o'clock. Maybe a little too far upfield, SagePaw, okay? I'd like to see that a little closer to the tree, a little more like 10 o'clock, because it looks like you've thrown 6 yards maybe, and it looks like the dog is 3 or 4 yards to your left. I'd like to see her out here on that catch, right? So that means just a little more out there rather than, sorry, if this is 12 o'clock, right? Oops. If I'm here, I send the dog around. Instead of throwing out there, throw out there, right? Are we good still? Yeah, okay. So, and then from there, she cues the drop, she marks it, and reinforces with the leaping catch. So from this point right here, that drop to the catch, SagePaw can reliably reproduce this. From that white disc, 1 stride, 2 stride, I'm guessing probably 2, a little bit of a burble collection, then collection and leap, right? So we have one stride, 2 stride, 3 stride, 3.5, 3 stride, collect. Perfect. Step, 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 collect, jump. Perfect, right? And SagePaw can ensure that those 3 moves happen each time. So dog dropped, SagePaw immediately, oops, I can't reach it, right? You can do that 3 times, period, historically, right? Once you've done it 3 times, it's the dog's job. SagePaw, you're taking ownership of your dog's mistake and you're fixing their mistake. It's not your job, dog's job. Do nothing, let the dog go get it. Once the dog gets it, immediately cue drop, yes, bite. Get reinforcement on the cued drop. And you should have taken this one, right? And I think you probably do, even though she dropped the white one, right? Yeah, it's beautiful, right? The only thing that I would do would be to make her do it herself. Don't help her, right? You taking ownership is just going to budget that right in. It'll just be another command. I wonder if she'll let me drop it early this time. Nope, it's not how it works. Out. Little bite. Awesome. And I'm going to skip on because I think you got... Bunch of disc picking up. And so here she goes around. Now she's going to contract the flank this time. Oh, no, brush. So take a look at this. Watch the dog's approach. We just watched that 1 stride, 2 stride, 3 stride leap, right? We saw how pretty it was, right? Watch this clusterfuck. 1, 1.5. Look at her. Her legs are all goofy. What the hell is that, right? What the hell is that? Right? So that funkiness, we don't want to train that. We don't want to train this funkiness right there, right? Even though that was a cool throw and the team was awesome, right? I don't want to train that. Yeah, totally. And that's an inability to target and track the disc, right? And as long as you allow it to happen, or you throw your super special moves without the foundation of, there's the collection you're looking for, right? There, right? Unless you do that all the time, you really shouldn't be doing those funky throws. You know what I mean? You doing those funky throws is not helping Lola play safely. It's not helping Lola recognize where the disc should be. So let's take a look at this one. Watch how beautiful this is. 1, 2, 3, and it's actually 2 in a collection after you throw, right? But you see how beautiful it is. Purposeful. I can make this happen exactly, you can make this happen exactly the same every time. So as soon as you release, right? Now watch how many strides. 1 stride, 2 stride, collect, jump. Watch the fancy throw. Watch the super awesome fancy throw. Think about the dog and the team here. How did the dog and the team look on this super awesome fancy throw? Right? Not very good. Not very good. And that super awesome fancy throw, if it looks like this, fuck yeah, SagePaw, right? Fuck yeah. Now, here's the thing. I want to get to the point here, which is not to just pick on SagePaw about that throw not being. I've gone really long. My lights are toast. My point is not to pick on you about that as much as, yeah, so what you want to do with this, you have, boom, get out, upside down, out there, bring her across, 1 stride, 2 stride, 2.5, leap, over and over. I can do that shit in my sleep, right? When you can do that pretty well, then you want to put your cool throws in there. Send her around, throw it out to where Epi is right now. Out, yes, boom, brush, pow, 1 stride, 2 stride, leap, 1 stride, 2 stride, half, leap. Try to drop your crazy town throw into that pattern that we've created, right? Or another way to think about it would be try to set the dog up over there on the pedestal, over there to my left at 10 o'clock, so that I can brush in the center and control my dog's approach and make it look just like the making the play move, Yeah, does that make sense? Yeah. Super, super cool. The making the play part was right on point, right? The making the play part, right on point. Keep doing that. Choose 2.5. And actually, so you really waited for her to get going before you threw. You probably want to be more deliberate in presenting the pose and throwing, right? So when she's out there where Epi is, out, yes, boom, pow, right? Like really do a good job of delivering that. If you wait until the dog goes, the dog's setting of the line is making you throw. You want to read the dog's line from the drop. Yes, deliver the throw. Sorry, I know you can't see that. Read the dog's line, drop, yes, deliver the throw at the ball out there, right? From where Epi is. Boom, pow. And I want the dog to respond to that. And from there, you're looking at 3.5 strides, 4.5 strides, the half stride being the collection, right? So you should be able to choose how many strides you're going to pull the dog across the field. That'll allow you to get a little more speed, to test Huck's ability to slow down and read the different speeds of the disc, right? Interceptions, by the way, Josh, if you happen to catch this, or Cassie, interceptions, he can't. The linear speed is, you're the dog on an interception, the linear speed is 0. If I throw this way and you're coming from there, the linear speed is 0. So the dog shouldn't be able to choose between fast and slow. Hopefully that makes sense. I probably confused everybody with that. But yeah, the making the play was great. Try to work 3.5 strides, 4.5 strides, 5 strides. When you run a zigzag, try to pigeonhole the dog into a number of strides, a distance and timing that will elicit a leaping catch. It's the same as from over there on the white, from where the white disc was dropped. You can decide how many strides you've trained it. You can decide how many strides she's going to make. You don't want 20 or 30 strides in your zigzag. You want a nice tight 1, 2, 3, 4, collect, wham, turn, 1, 2, 3, 4, collect, wham, right? Yeah, nice and clean. All right. So there you go. SagePaw, the moderator, gets a lesson and a like. I don't know if you saw it. Don't forget, everybody, like, share, subscribe. Like, share, subscribe. See, I did it. I'm going to ring the bell too. Boom. Awesome. So, SagePaw, let's wrap this right into the tactic thing, right? So far, you've done this as a warm-up, and you've done it as a drill, right? You added the funky throw in there, probably because you were bored and wanted to do something cool. If you would have kept with the tactic of the making the play, right? You could have slipped that right in there and making the play to the next level of, I know how to throw interceptions with my dog with lots of fucking throws, dude. Not only do I know how to do it, I've experienced it a shit ton, right? And just that simple little change from going out and doing my work, right, to going out with a strategy of, what was it? Of developing a pattern of stroking success. It was in there. I'm not going to find preview. Can I find it? No. Preview. There we go. I can do that. Boom, right? So the strategy and tactics here. I can reinforce, or no, habitual success. I can employ that tactic of habitual success or priming the pump and habitual success using the making the play, right? And then I can do that to reinforce collection, right? And to learn how to do stuff. Awesome. I'm glad you're digging it, Cassie. Where's Amber? I didn't even see Amber here. Where's Amber? Weird. All right. So anyway, all you did there, or all we're talking about doing, is taking your drill, and that's that really awesome dumb pattern. Dumb meaning not smart, not flexible, not not flexible. It's just this simple pattern that you're doing, right? And the reason it's so effective is because it's dumb. 3 strides over there, catch, drop, 3 strides here, bang. It's fucking dumb. There, 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 there. Awesome, I've done all my work. Let's go out and do the freestyle thing. And now you're not doing anything remotely like there and there. If we take that there, 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 right? I throw it out to the left. I cue the drop, 3 strides over here, right? If we take that and go, wow, my dog's about at the drop distance. Let me turn here and throw 3.5 strides. Now I learn how to throw to my dog 3.5 strides away. My dog learns how to approach this funky throw from 3.5 strides, just like we do normally. Wow, I'm pretty good at this actually, right? And bang, all of a sudden your shit is working, rather than you going out and working and doing your drill over and over again. Hopefully that makes sense. I do not see any of Amber's comments, actually. Amber, are you on Facebook? If you're on Facebook, I don't think I've seen any Facebook comments other than the first one. Kimberly Brown, or Kimberly Dawn, way early, and then I haven't seen any. I have not seen Amber's comments. I wonder if I banned her. I probably banned her. She probably deserved it. Did you ban her? You didn't ban her, did you? You might have banned her. But you got some power, SagePaw. Let me see here. I'm going to see what's up with Amber. I do not see your comments, Amber. So give me 1 sec, and this might bunk up the stream. Ooh, I got ultra slow, super. I hope you did. Then I won't have to worry about it. It'd be great if it was you. No, it doesn't look like I'm going to get it. I'm going to break the stream, I think, trying to get it. So, all right. I've been going for quite a while. 1:51. We can go for 2 hours. So, SagePaw, super awesome video. Try to throw some of those things in that we mentioned, and then I hope that there's something you can take out of the super long, weird fucking strategy and tactics conversation so that you can start to apply your drills and skills smartly towards work, rather than just working the skills of, I'm Working the loom. What are you making? I don't know. Working the loom. Right? Well, maybe you should try and figure out how to fix the thumb in your gloves. It's not a good pattern. Nope, I'm working the loom. How are you going to figure out how to do the glove? I'm going to make more gloves. No, you gotta adjust things. You gotta set it up. And as you start to do it, and you start to get more familiar with it, you start to understand the things that you're doing, and then you can apply them elsewhere. All right. Amber, I don't know where you're at. Amber, where are you watching from? Maybe someone could report in. We could do a grapevine thing. Let me see here. All right, so if you guys dig the show, you can tip the dog trainer. You could tip the dog trainer. That's super important. And if you're watching this not live, you should tip the dog trainer. It might be kooky, but it's good stuff. And then we work on, you know what, I'll leave that out there. We work with this stuff in our classes, particularly in the patrons only cookie class that meets Wednesdays. I know, I'm poor too. I got the same problem. Share, 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 SagePaw. Share, share, share. Be a vicious sharer. Right? And SagePaw, if you want to drop time codes in any of the videos, all of you guys, by the way, I would appreciate it and welcome the assist on this. If you're watching, just drop time codes of anything that you're interested in the comments. It takes me about an hour and a half to go through one of these and drop the chapters in. The chapters are super awesome. So if you guys could do any of that, that would swift kick me in the ass to get me on the ball as soon as there are a few comments under there and a couple of things to point me in the right direction. I jump in the video, I run through it. We have a shit ton of chapters, more people watch, etc. So like 0, 0, colon, 34. That would be 34 seconds, right? Yep. So that's time code. If any of you guys are struggling to tip the dog trainer or whatever, sharing or dropping comments like that would be absolutely terrific, man. I would super appreciate that. And SagePaw is not a patron, but she is a super frequent. Her and Ace of Hogan, who are missing tonight, I'm super sad, have been on the live stream kind of since the beginning, and I super appreciate it, and it's super fun. Yeah, do it. Do it. You won't do it, SagePaw. You're afraid. You won't do it. You're afraid. If you just drop a comment under the video after we're done, it'll pop up. So, whoa, awesome. All right. Let's see. Tactics. Yeah, I think. Right? Yeah, from bus days. You're back in the bus days. All right, so I think I'm going to play this new Memeroll to play us out. If anybody else has any questions, feel free to hit me up, right? There you go. You'll have to drop that, I think, in a real comment for it to actually do something super awesome. It won't throw a chapter up. I'll throw the chapters up, but if you guys throw up some time codes, I'll have a reason to look into the video, right? It's hard to dive into a video knowing you're going to spend 2 hours on it. Anyway, All right, I'm gonna play us out with a meme roll and the last puppy bite work thing. So let me pull up, or not puppy bite work, the puppy finale, all pow puppy, and then we'll play us out with meme roll number 12. Thanks a bunch, guys.
All right, let's go. Let's go.
Notice that she does not give eye contact outdoors. Yes. Doesn't happen.
Let's go. Hustle, hustle.
Yay. See you guys. Wow.
Yes.
Come on.
Trying to extend